Hi there everyone, I'm the guy with no gamertag, and today I wanted to talk about Rainbow Six Siege, because with Year 5 Season 2 approaching, it'll be normally a big time for excitement and anticipation of the new season. But in this season in particular, it's actually been overshadowed a little bit, and that's mostly due to the discussions focusing on the Save Siege hashtag, which has been massively blown out of proportion, but it does have a well-meaning intention. And I will have to admit, I do agree with some of the criticisms made. I've watched the entire thing that Pengu did, I've also watched other people's reactions and seen what the overall content creator stance on this is, as well as an idea of what the community thinks. And I do agree with some of the criticisms. There are a lot of frustrating things going on in this game. I'll admit, over this season, I've had a lot of frustrating moments. My ranked games haven't gone particularly well. Unranked can be a bit of a mixed bag. You can go from having a decent experience to suddenly being put against people that feel like they're trying for a Go For tournament. And then casual is something I've stayed away from for the best part of 2 years now. And for me, the reason that is because I always get vote kicked out before I've even joined the game. So I can barely even access that mode, let alone try and play it. And that has led me to always play the competitive modes, get really into the competitive side of it. But actually, at the moment, I'm just not playing that well. I'm not playing so well, and it means that I'm not enjoying that side of the game. And I'm quite often looking for excuses or getting frustrated because of that, and I'm not willing to see it whilst I'm playing. Then also on top of this, there was also the change to the Ubisoft terms of service, which I don't disagree with the changes they've made. Effectively, the TLDR is, your actions have consequences, we can ban you for those actions, which is fair enough. However, some of the vagueness in some of the descriptions does leave some cause for concern, especially where it comes to banning accounts. What I'm about to discuss here is completely hypothetical, it has no backing, it has no proof, it's just a possible situation because of the vagueness of the terms of service. So the developers have expressed their intentions to add a reputation system in the game. You can upvote or downvote players depending on your experience in matches. That's a good thing. It can hopefully motivate players to behave in a better manner during their game. But my only concern is whether this would have an automated side of it as well. Because the game can definitely monitor players. You've got the reverse friendly fire system, and you have the banning system when people do team kill too often. And those are good systems, I wouldn't have those removed. But if the reputation system was linked to other game systems, I would be slightly concerned. And for me, that would mostly be to do with vote kicking. Because for whatever reason, I seem to be a magnet for vote kicking in casual. Most of the time, it's because I've joined a match in progress. I've been thrown into the match, and quite often I get kicked out of that match before I even know what map I'm playing. I just get kicked out, never had a chance to play it, or it will just load into a fresh lobby and someone decides to vote kick for no reason. I have no idea why this seems to happen. Even when I've been squadding up with a friend, it still seems to happen, and I don't quite understand why. But what this means is that for me, if the game was to monitor how often someone has a vote kick initiated or how often they are vote kicked, I would look like one of the worst scum of the earth players on this game. When in fact, I'm just someone who's just trying to queue into a match and getting kicked out. That's the only concern I have. And so you've got all of these small factors, and they have cast a little bit of a shadow over this season. And as I've said, along with the fact that my season hasn't really played out that well, it's kind of frustrating. And it does definitely paint a slightly sadder picture for this game. However, in my opinion, this season, more than any other, is a time for great change for this game. Because as the developers laid out in their Year 5 and 6 roadmap, from this season onwards, there's only going to be one new operator coming each season, which frees up so many more resources for them to make big sweeping changes to this game, try and iron out the creases and get this game into an even better state. Because actually, they've made so many good changes to this game. In fact, I've listed a few as I've been going through some of my complaints. Reverse friendly fire is one of the main ones. That is one of the single best additions they've made to this game because it stops players, and especially parties in casual, from bullying other players. And that's been a fantastic change. They also fixed a lot of the lighting issues when you'd look outside and you'd be able to see the sun, or you'd look inside a building and it was the darkness itself. And they've made so many of those good changes over the years. The netcode has so much improvement from when the game released. And what's more, serviceability, queue times, the actual UI and interface of the game has been improved massively. And that is why I am actually properly optimistic for this season, is even though I'm not so keen on the operators. I think Ace looks interesting. Melusi, I feel, is not what we need right now. But I'm still optimistic because there's so much scope for good change. The changes that I'm most excited for, that they've already expressed an intention for, is the new pinging system, which is so much more like Apex Legends, and it will give you so much more ability to communicate. I had a moment yesterday where my teammate was last person alive and they were breaking through a barricade. And I could see that underneath this barricade was a frost trap. I didn't know there was also a Capcan trap on this wall. I couldn't tell that. But I could see on the spectator screen that there was a frost trap there. Unfortunately, my teammate was completely oblivious to this, so I got to watch with absolute hilarity this player unexpectedly walking through this doorway and finding themselves against a Capcan and a frost trap and having all of our team watch it. It was really funny for me to watch, but the pinging system would have potentially allowed me to communicate that to my teammate and would have maybe avoided them having a hilarious death. And also the other change is the rework to the armor and speed system. My goodness, I have wanted this change for at least the last 2 years. I do not like the massive delta between 3 armors and 1 armors. It just feels, especially on the 3 speed operators, that people do play them and just run around like headless chickens. I find it very frustrating. I despise Ash mains that play like this, and I don't like that system in the game, and I'm glad that they are finally looking at reworking it, and I think that will be really good for the game. And what's more, it allows them to change the meta up in ways that they never had previously. Previously, we had to wait for an operator like Mira to try and change up the whole game, but these big sweeping changes that they can now make by freeing up these resources could really spice it up and make it perhaps one of the best years of this game. Maybe not this year, perhaps next year, or maybe in the future years to come. I'm optimistic for this game. I really think it's going to start going from strength to strength even more than it has. And I also just continue to look forward to the limited time events. I loved Grand Larceny. That was a fantastic mode, especially with all the little Easter eggs with the Rainbow Six 50 million on the car's number plates. I like those details, and I've just enjoyed playing the game. I've actually found myself getting back into casual. I've been playing that over the last few weeks, and thankfully I haven't been getting vote kicked from matches. I've only been vote kicked about twice, and as you can expect, it was before I'd loaded into the game at all. But anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope the community can continue to stay positive, because I really do think the game is going to continue to get stronger. There are frustrating aspects, but that's the same about any game. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like and feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. I've been the guy with no gamertag, and I'll see you on another video.
Why did you get? Why? No. Why would I? Why? Oh, intentional team kill. No, it was not an intentional team kill. I tried to press no.